Hi, Mrs. Hayward here again. I'm doing the same video. Betty's still here. Sorry, I still look so tired. So this is a video all about how to answer an acting question. So when it comes to our Eduqas drama GCSE work, Betty, stop now. So what you're going to be looking at is voice. So when we think of voice, you're going to be thinking about pitch, which is how high something is or how low something is. So obviously when we're really, really excited, we sort of speak with quite a high pitched tone. Or if we are feeling quite authoritative or we're feeling like we're threatening someone, we might speak with a much lower pitch. Okay, so high, low, that's with pitch. We might also talk about pace. So again, when we're really excited, we speak with a very fast pace, don't we? This is also called tempo. Or again, if we're feeling quite authoritative or trying to hammer home a point, we might speak with a much slower pace. You've also got pause, which is done for effect, as you can see there. And we've got tone. So I like to think of tone as a person and how is tone feeling. So we've got happy tone, sad tone, aggressive tone, upbeat tone. So how is tone feeling? And the tone of our voice sort of explains what mood we're in, really, doesn't it? Change the way I'm sitting. So think about that. Okay, so we've got voice. It might be that you get asked how to say a certain line using pitch, high or low, pause, pace, or tempo, or tone. And you need to be able to justify that. So why is someone using a particular tone? So right now, I'm using a fairly upbeat tone with a fairly authoritative tone, with a fairly normal pace and a fairly low pitch. This is all because I'm trying to do my little YouTube video for my year 11s and also trying to ignore my 6-year-old in the background. So I'm sounding sort of like a newsreader. One of the other things that you might get asked about is interaction between people. So this is normally where two people or more are interacting with each other on the stage. So how are they showing that relationship? So obviously if I go and really close the proxemics with someone, so if I go and stand really clearly, you know, right up in their face, that's quite aggressive. I'm invading their... Bertie, can you stop? I'm obviously sort of invading their private space. I'm being quite intimidating. If I am going along and I sort of carefully keep looking at them, if I'm looking at someone, if I'm in a big group and I keep looking and glancing at someone, that shows maybe that I fancy them or that I feel safe with them. If I'm talking to someone and my arms are crossed and I'm looking them up and down, that shows I'm sort of judging them. I think that I'm better than them. So how I'm interacting showing the relationship between me and the other people on stage? So that's another thing. And keywords to remember then is proxemics, so which is how close or how far apart we are with someone on the stage. And also you've always got to be thinking of stage placement. So if you're doing on a proscenium arch, which is sort of your standard like West End type theatre, you're going to be thinking of saying downstage centre, which is sort of the closest bit in the middle towards the audience. Upstage centre, which is quite a powerful position generally, which is right at the back of the stage in the centre. Downstage left, so it's always from the actor's point of view. So if I'm standing on the stage, it's to my left, and if I'm standing in downstage right, is to the right towards the audience. So thinking about where I'm standing as well. Another thing to consider is movement. So what is my body language doing? What gestures am I doing? So gesture is slightly different from general moving because a gesture is something you could do with one part of your body. So for example, a nod of the head, a wink, a click, kicking something, pushing my glasses up. That's a gesture. So it's like quite short and snappy generally. So you might get asked about gesture, or you could just include gesture when you're talking about movement in general. Another thing to consider is gait, which is how we hold ourselves. So it's sort of our centre of gravity. So it's not necessarily the walk itself, but it's about how we hold ourselves when we walk and when we're standing there. So do we have a heavy gait? Do we have quite a lazy gait? Do we have a light gait? And again, what does that say about us? So what you're trying to do with an acting question is you're trying to give me really clear, explicit instructions on how I should act. So imagine that you are playing that role in the it, and for some reason you are not there. And so what you need to do is give me very clear instructions how to act so that I don't mess it up because I'm really stupid. So what line do I say? How do I say it? How do I act? What do I do? And why am I doing it? So our motivation is the thing that drives us, isn't it? So my motivation right now is to do a last minute panic video the day before the GCSE exam. And so therefore my motivation is to do a YouTube video for you so that this might help you. Obviously, if my motivation were instead to go out and just get drunk, then I wouldn't bother doing a YouTube video. Instead, I'd be down the pub, maybe with Bertie. Who knows? So our motivation drives us to act the way we do, doesn't it? So chances are you will get some sort of acting question. So really think about what that person wants and why they want it, and how will you act in order to show what it is they want. Okay, good luck.